Have you ever looked at a birthday card and felt a cold, not of fear in your stomach? Not about the number itself, but about what it supposedly represents? A future of slow decline, of doctor's visits piling up, of energy fading and options narrowing until the world feels so very small. It's a quiet worry that so many of us share, this feeling that our best years are irretrievably in the rearview mirror and that the road ahead is just a long, slow walk into the sunset. We see friends and loved ones struggling. We feel little aches and pains that weren't there a decade ago. And we start to accept the story that I am here to tell you today is simply not true. The story that's just falling apart after 80 or even 85 is just what happens, that it's normal, that it's inevitable. Well, what if I told you that for a great many of us, it isn't inevitable at all? What if the difference between thriving in your later decades and merely surviving isn't just a genetic lottery, but a series of quiet, subtle choices we make every single day? Choices that most people never stop to question. I want you to understand something right from the start. Your body is whispering to you all the time. It's sending you signals, little alerts, and gentle nudges. But too often, we've been taught to dismiss these whispers as just part of getting older. We write off that constant fatigue, that stubborn weight, that fuzzy thinking, those creaky joints as an unavoidable sentence we just have to serve. And in doing so, we miss the critical opportunity to answer back, to nourish, to support, and to strengthen. This is the core of what we need to talk about today. This isn't about chasing some impossible fountain of youth or trying to look 20 again. This is about vitality. It's about having the energy to play with your grandkids without being exhausted. It's about having a mind that feels sharp and clear, ready to learn a new skill or finally tackle that book you've been meaning to write. It's about independence, the profound joy of being able to take care of yourself and your home on your own terms. This is what true health looks like, and it is absolutely within your reach. The goal isn't just to live to be 85 or 90. The goal is to love the life you're living every step of the way. Now, after working with and studying thousands of vibrant seniors, I've seen a clear pattern emerge. The people who are full of life and energy in their 80s and 90s aren't magical unicorns. They simply understand something crucial that others miss. They've learned to spot the silent, slow draining mistakes that sneak up on us over decades. And they've chosen a different path. We're going to walk through this together. And it starts not with a scary diagnosis or a complicated medical term, but with a simple misunderstanding about what our bodies truly need from us now. It's about looking at the very building blocks of our daily lives. The way we think about food, the way we move our bodies, the quality of our rest, and even the strength of our connections. And realizing that each one is a powerful lever we can pull to change our entire trajectory. So let's start at the very beginning, with the most common and damaging mistake of all, the belief that it's too late. I cannot tell you how many wonderful, intelligent people I've met who have simply given up. They've decided the game is over. The ship has sailed, and there's no point in trying to change habits now. They see their body changing and they surrender to it instead of working with it. This is a foundational error because it paralyzes us from taking any action at all. Our body is an incredibly adaptive machine, and it is never, ever too late to send it a new signal. The food you eat today is sending a signal. The short walk you take around the block is sending a signal. The glass of water you choose over a sugary drink is sending a signal. These signals tell your cells either to grow, to repair and to thrive, or to slow down, to protect stored energy and to decay. When we believe it's too late, we stop sending the good signals. We accept the slow, quiet rusting over, mistaking it for the natural order of things. But when we choose to believe that our bodies are still listening, still responding, still eager to heal and thrive. That's when everything changes. That shift in mindset is the first and most critical step. It's the moment you stop being a passenger on this journey and take hold of the wheel. And getting a handle on that difference is the first step to taking your power back. Because once you see it clearly, what you do next becomes so much more important. And what you do next, well, it all starts in the kitchen, doesn't it? Not with a strict diet or a terrifying list of forbidden foods, but with thinking of food in a completely new way. For so long, we've been taught to see food as the enemy, especially as our metabolism changes. We count calories. We feel guilty about a piece of cake. We skip meals to try and lose weight. But this is the second silent mistake. Seeing food as calories instead of information. Every single bite you take is a message. It's either a message of inflammation and confusion for your body, or a message of nourishment and repair. Think about the classic senior diet for a moment. Often soft, processed, and beige. Toast for breakfast, a simple sandwich for lunch, maybe some meat and potatoes for dinner. It's easy to chew, easy to prepare, but it's sending all the wrong signals. It's telling your body to spike your blood sugar, to store fat, to create quiet inflammation that wears down your joints and clouds your brain, and to let your muscles slowly waste away because they're not getting the protein they desperately need to stay strong. Let's change that message. I want you to start thinking of your plate as a painter's palette. Your goal is to get as many colors and types of food on there as possible. Focus on the two powerhouses that most seniors simply don't get enough of: protein and color. Protein isn't just for bodybuilders. It is the absolute bedrock of maintaining your strength. It's what keeps your muscles from weakening, which is the key to preventing falls and staying independent. Make it a mission to include a good source of protein with every single meal. An egg with breakfast, some grilled chicken or fish with lunch, a handful of lentils, or some Greek yogurt with dinner. It doesn't have to be a huge steak. Small, consistent amounts throughout the day send a continuous signal to your body. Stay strong. We need you. And then bring in the color, those vibrant colors in fruits and vegetables. The deep green of spinach, the bright orange of the sweet potato, the rich red of bell pepper, the deep purple of a blueberry. Those colors represent thousands of different compounds that fight inflammation, protect your brain, and literally help clean up the cellular damage that accumulates over time. So your new rule is simple: no more beige plates. Let every meal be a celebration of color and strength. Now, fueling your body correctly gives you potential for energy, but to truly unlock it, we have to talk about motion. It might seem counterintuitive. When you're tired, the last thing you feel like doing is moving. But the third silent mistake is believing that rest is always the best medicine. Our bodies are designed for movement. When we stop moving, the systems that create energy slowly shut down. They go into conservation mode. The phrase, use it or lose it, has never been more true. But I'm not talking about running a marathon or lifting heavy weights in a gym. I'm talking about intentional, joyful movement that reminds your body what it's capable of. The goal is to build a habit of motion, so seamless it feels as natural as breathing. Start with the simplest and most powerful exercise known to man, walking. But don't just amble. Make it intentional. Go for 10 minutes and focus on your posture. Stand up tall, pull your shoulders back, look at the horizon, and take purposeful steps. Feel your heart rate lift just a little bit. This kind of movement does something remarkable. It tells your nervous system that you are alive, you are strong, and you need energy for this important work. It strengthens your heart, it clears your mind, and it builds stability in your legs with every single step. And beyond walking, Think about incorporating two other types of movement, strength and mobility. Strength can be as simple as standing up from your chair 10 times without using your hands, or holding onto the counter and doing 10 gentle calf raises. Mobility is taking 2 minutes in the morning to gently roll your shoulders, slowly turn your head from side to side, and reach your arms up to the sky. This isn't about getting sweaty. It's about maintaining the priceless ability to move freely and without pain. It's amazing how a simple daily walk can change the rhythm of your entire day. And that rhythm leads us perfectly to something we often neglect, but is absolutely sacred. That's right, we're talking about rest. And I don't just mean sleep, though that's a huge piece of it. The fourth silent mistake is one we're all guilty of. We see rest as a luxury, or worse, as a sign of laziness. We push through fatigue. We burn the candle at both ends. We lie in bed at night with our minds racing about everything we didn't get done. We've forgotten how to truly, deeply rest. And for our bodies, this is a crisis. Because rest isn't the opposite of activity. It's the partner of activity. It's when the real magic happens. It's during deep, quality rest that your body repairs the microscopic tears in your muscles from that wonderful walk you took. It's when your brain cleans out the metabolic waste that accumulated during the day, a process that is absolutely critical for keeping your mind sharp and preventing brain fog. When you shortchange your rest, you are literally interrupting your body's most important maintenance work. So let's reframe rest. Let's call it restoration. And it has two parts. First, there's sleep. This is non-negotiable. Prioritizing sleep is prioritizing your health. Create a ritual around it. An hour before bed, start to dim the lights and shut off the bright screens on the TV and your phone. That blue light tells your brain it's time to be awake, not asleep. Maybe you have a cup of caffeine-free tea. You read a physical book. You listen to some soft music. Make your bedroom a cave, cool, dark, and quiet. This isn't being fussy. It's giving your body the clear signal that it's safe to shut down and repair itself. But restoration goes beyond sleep. It's also about the tiny moments of rest you can build into your day. It's sitting quietly for 5 minutes after lunch instead of immediately jumping up to clean the kitchen. It's listening to a beautiful piece of music without doing anything else at the same time. It's taking 10 deep, slow breaths when you feel yourself getting stressed or overwhelmed. These moments are like hitting the reset button on your nervous system. They lower the stress hormones that, when constantly elevated, break down your body and brain. And when we're well rested and less stressed, we have the capacity for one of the most powerful energy sources of all, meaningful connection. This is the fifth silent mistake, and it's perhaps the most insidious, allowing ourselves to become isolated. Humans are not meant to be alone. We are social creatures wired for connection. When we lose that, it's not just loneliness we feel. It's a physical drain on our entire system. Study after study has shown that chronic loneliness is as damaging to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases inflammation, weakens our immune system, and literally accelerates aging. But the flip side is also true. A strong, loving connection with friends, family, and community is a powerful tonic. It gives us a reason to get up in the morning. It lowers our stress. It gives us joy, and it provides support system for when times get tough. This connection doesn't have to be a huge circle of friends. It can be one or two close confidants. It can be a weekly phone call with a grandchild where you really listen. It can be joining a book club at the local library or a gardening group at a community center. It's about engaging with the world, sharing your wisdom, and remembering that you are a valuable, needed part of community. So these 5 pieces understanding your energy, fuel, movement, rest, and connection. They all fit together like a beautiful puzzle. But a puzzle isn't finished until you put the last piece in place, and that's making it all work for your unique life. Now, bringing this all together might feel like a lot. You might be looking at these 5 areas and thinking, how can I possibly focus on all 5 of these things at once? And my answer is, you absolutely shouldn't. That is a surefire path to feeling overwhelmed and giving up. The secret to making this stick isn't a complete life overhaul that you start on Monday morning. The secret is in the tiny, almost effortless wins. It's about starting so small that it feels impossible to fail. Forget about changing everything. I want you to think of one single, tiny thing you can do today. Just one. Maybe it's adding 1 handful of spinach to your eggs at breakfast. Maybe it's parking at the far end of the grocery store parking lot to get a 2-minute walk in. Maybe it's setting a reminder on your phone to stand up and stretch once every hour. Maybe it's calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. That's it. Do that one thing. And when you do it, I want you to actually pause and acknowledge it. Say to yourself, there, I did that. I am taking care of myself. That moment of acknowledgement is more important than you know. It reinforces the new identity you're building, someone who values their vitality. After a few days, that one tiny thing will become automatic. It will feel weird not to do it. That's when you add one more tiny thing. Maybe you start drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. Maybe you practice taking 5 deep breaths before you get out of bed. This is how you build a new lifestyle, not through force and willpower, but through gentle, consistent, tiny actions that slowly add up to monumental change. Now, you will have bad days. We all do. The power isn't in being perfect. It's in how you handle the imperfection. If you have a day where you eat nothing but toast, don't move, and feel lonely, that's okay. It's just one day. It doesn't erase all your progress. The next day is a brand new opportunity to send your body a good signal. Just get back to your tiny habits. Be kind to yourself. This is a journey, not a race. And what about the very real obstacles? What if I don't like to cook? Then let's make it effortless. Keep pre-cut vegetables and fruit in your fridge. Buy rotisserie chicken. Keep canned beans and lentils in your pantry. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It just has to be nourishing. What if my knees are bad? Then find a movement that feels good. Seated leg lifts are fantastic. Water aerobics is incredible for joints. Chair yoga can work wonders. The movement is non-negotiable, but the type of movement is entirely up to you and what feels good in your body. What if I live alone and feel isolated? Then start small. Smile and say hello to your cashier. Wave to your neighbor. The next time, maybe ask them how their day is going. Small connections build the pathway to bigger ones. The solution to every single obstacle is not to give up, but to ask, how can I adapt this? What is the smallest possible version of this I can do that still counts? You have the map now. You know what to do and, more importantly, how to start. The final ingredient, the one that makes it all stick, isn't something you do, but something you believe. That final ingredient is the story you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. For far too long, that story might have been one of limitation, of decline, of I can't and I'm too old. The most profound shift you can make is to change that internal narrative. It's about moving from I am someone who is tired and getting older to I am someone who is taking active, loving steps to care for my body and my mind. This is about identity. Celebrate every single tiny win. Did you choose an apple over a cookie? That's a win. Did you take a 5-minute walk? That's a win. Did you go to bed 15 minutes earlier? Win. By celebrating these micro victories, you're not just doing a healthy behavior. You are building evidence for your new identity as a person who values their vitality. You are proving to yourself that you are in charge. I want to tell you about a woman I know named Eleanor. Eleanor is 82. About 5 years ago, she lost her husband, and she fell into a deep rut. She felt her world shrinking. She was tired, lonely, and convinced her best days were behind her. Her daughter finally convinced her to just come over for a walk around the block. Just one block. It was hard. She was out of breath, but she did it. The next day, she did it again. Then she started adding one piece of fruit to her daily tea and toast. Tiny, tiny things. She started noticing that the walk felt a little easier. She had a bit more energy. She mustered the courage to join a senior knitting circle at her community center, not because she was a great knitter, but just to be around people. Slowly, over months and years, these tiny actions compounded. Today, Eleanor leads at Knitting Circle. She goes on walks with friends she made there. She's full of life and laughter. She didn't win the genetic lottery. She simply made the choice to start. She changed her story one tiny step at a time. Your life is a magnificent tapestry, and every single healthy choice you make is a vibrant thread you weave into it. It's about waking up feeling hopeful, having the vitality to enjoy your grandchildren, and pursuing that hobby you always put off. It's about loving the life you've built and taking care of the vessel that carries you through it. Your incredible body. You have everything you need right now to begin. You don't need a special pill or a fancy program. You just need to decide that you are worth the effort. I would love to hear from you. Which one of these 5 areas are you most excited to start with? Is it adding more color to your plate, or maybe going for a short walk? Tell me in the comments below. Sharing your intention is a powerful way to make it real. If this conversation resonated with you and gave you a bit of hope, please give this video a like. It helps me reach more wonderful people just like you who deserve to hear this message. And if you want to continue this journey together, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications. Every video I make is designed to give you practical, loving advice to help you live your very best life.